The debate over who is the best winger in world rugby has taken another fascinating turn, with South Africa's Cheslin Kolbe and New Zealand's Will Jordan at the centre of the discussion. Former England stars Ben Youngs and Anthony Watson recently compared the two attacking stars and offered an intriguing verdict. Will Jordan may have the edge for pure speed, but when it comes to footwork and one-on-one ability, Cheslin Colby is in a class of his own. The debate arrives at an exciting time, with the Springboks and All Blacks preparing to renew one of rugby's greatest rivalries. The two teams are set to meet in a major test series, with their first encounter in Johannesburg on August 22nd. While the battle between the forwards, halfbacks and playmakers will attract plenty of attention, the contest out wide could be just as important. Both Colby and Jordan possess the ability to change a match in seconds, but they do it in very different ways. According to Anthony Watson, both players are extremely fast, but if they were placed into a simple straight-line race, he would give the advantage to Will Jordan. The All Blacks winger has a running style that can make his incredible speed look almost effortless. Rather than appearing to strain, Jordan often looks as though he is gliding across the field. That ability to accelerate into open space has made Jordan one of New Zealand's most dangerous attacking weapons. His international try-scoring record is a major part of his reputation, and his ability to arrive in the right place at the right moment has become one of his defining qualities. Former England scrum half Ben Youngs highlighted that aspect of Jordan's game. According to Youngs, the All Black star has an exceptional understanding of where an attacking opportunity is going to appear. It is not simply about running quickly. It is about anticipation. A winger can have extraordinary speed, but speed means very little if the player is standing in the wrong place. The best finishers understand how the defensive line is moving, where the next pass or offload might go and when they need to accelerate into space. Jordan has developed that instinct to an elite level. He does not need to dominate possession to influence a game. He can remain relatively quiet for several phases before suddenly appearing in a dangerous position. His movement without the ball is just as important as what he does when he has possession. That makes him an extremely difficult player for defenders to track. However, when the conversation turns from pure speed to one-on-one attacking ability, Anthony Watson believes the advantage moves decisively toward Cheslin Kolbe. Watson described Colby as the best one-on-one attacker he has ever faced and praised his footwork as the best he has ever seen. That is an extraordinary statement from a player who spent years competing against elite wingers and backs. Colby's reputation has been built around his ability to beat defenders in extremely small spaces. He does not necessarily need a large gap or an open field. Sometimes he only needs a few meters and one defender in front of him. That is when his footwork becomes so dangerous. Colby can change direction at remarkable speed while maintaining his balance and acceleration. His low center of gravity makes him difficult to tackle, while his strength allows him to survive contact when defenders do manage to get a hand on him. The most frustrating part for defenders is that they often know what is coming. They know Colby wants to attack. They know he may step inside or outside. They know he can accelerate away from contact. Yet knowing what is coming does not necessarily make stopping him any easier. That is one of the defining characteristics of an elite one-on-one player. The defender may even make the correct decision, but Colby can still find a way through. Anthony Watson experienced that challenge personally. He was part of the England side that faced South Africa in the 2019 Rugby World Cup final, alongside Ben Youngs. That match remains an important part of Colby's career and of the Springboks' history. South Africa defeated England to become world champions, and Colby produced one of the memorable attacking moments of the final. Years later, the respect from those England players remains obvious. For Watson, the reason is simple. Facing Colby one-on-one is a nightmare because his lateral movement is so quick and his balance is so strong. A defender can attempt to close the angle, but Colby can change direction before the defender has time to recover. If the defender reaches for him, his strength can help him stay upright. If the defender commits too early, Colby can exploit the space immediately. That combination of footwork, balance, acceleration, and strength makes him one of the most dangerous attacking players in world rugby. But Colby's qualities go far beyond his ability to beat a defender. One of the biggest points made by Watson was that the Springbok star is an incredibly complete player. He can play on the wing, cover fullback and contribute in different areas of the field. He can kick, pass, identify space and become involved in attacking sequences closer to the middle of the field. He has even demonstrated skills that are not normally associated with a winger, including contributing to line-out throws and taking on responsibilities normally handled by other positions. That versatility gives South Africa another tactical weapon. The Springboks do not have to use Kolbe as a traditional winger who simply waits outside the defense. They can move him around and allow him to find opportunities. That makes defensive planning more difficult. A team can prepare for a winger staying in one channel. It is much harder to prepare for a player who can suddenly appear in another area and become a playmaker. This is one reason why Kolbe is often described as one of the most complete players in the modern game. His physical size has also become part of his story. Rugby has traditionally placed enormous importance on size and power, particularly at the highest level. But Kolbe has repeatedly shown that a smaller player can compete with bigger opponents through technique, balance, speed and intelligence. His low center of gravity is an advantage. His footwork is an advantage. His acceleration is an advantage. And his willingness to attack defenders is perhaps his greatest advantage of all. A player cannot become an elite one-on-one attacker simply by having fast feet. The player must be prepared to use those feet aggressively. Kolbe does exactly that. When he receives the ball against a single defender, there is a sense of anticipation because everyone knows a challenge is coming. The defender knows. The spectators know. His teammates know. And yet, Kolbe continues to beat defenders. That is what makes the praise from Watson so powerful. At the same time, it would be unfair to describe Will Jordan as merely a fast runner and try scorer. He is much more complete than that. His ability to read the game, combine with teammates and identify defensive weaknesses makes him a crucial part of the All Blacks attack. His finishing instincts are particularly impressive. A winger may only receive a handful of genuine opportunities in a test match, but Jordan has developed the ability to make those opportunities count. He understands when to hold width. He knows when to move closer to the attacking line. He can chase kicks. He can exploit broken field situations. And when an opening appears, he has the speed to turn it into points. This is where the comparison becomes so interesting. If the question is pure speed, Watson gives the advantage to Jordan. If the question is try-scoring efficiency, Jordan also has a strong argument. But if the question is who you would least want to face in a one-on-one situation, Watson has a clear answer. Cheslin Kolbe. That distinction does not make one player better at everything. Instead, it shows how differently elite wingers can dominate. Jordan is a devastating finisher. Kolbe is a devastating creator. Jordan can punish space. Kolbe can create space. Jordan can glide past defenders when the field opens up. Kolbe can make a defender miss even when there appears to be nowhere to go. That difference could become particularly important when South Africa and New Zealand meet. The All Blacks will need to create opportunities for Jordan to use his speed and movement. If he receives the ball with open space, the Springboks will have a major defensive problem. But South Africa will also need to ensure that Kolbe gets opportunities to attack isolated defenders. New Zealand cannot afford to allow him too much freedom. The All Blacks will need strong defensive communication and support around the outside channels. A missed tackle against Kolbe can quickly become a line break. The Springboks will face a similar challenge against Jordan. They cannot simply watch the ball. They must track his movement. A player with Jordan's anticipation can exploit a defensive mistake before the defenders even realize the gap exists. That is why the upcoming rivalry is about more than two famous wingers. It is about two different attacking philosophies. South Africa can use Kolbe as an unpredictable creator who moves around the field and challenges defenders in different ways. New Zealand can use Jordan as an intelligent finisher who understands how to turn attacking opportunities into points. And there is another young player waiting to enter the conversation. France winger Louis Bielbayari has already established himself as one of the most exciting young players in international rugby. His pace, finishing ability, and kicking skills have made him a major threat, and there is growing belief that he could eventually become the best winger in the world. However, Watson believes there is still a gap between Bielbayari and the established stars. The issue is not necessarily speed. It is completeness. Bielbayari has an excellent short-kicking game and impressive attacking qualities, but Watson believes Kolbe and Jordan currently offer a broader range of skills. That does not mean the French star cannot close the gap. At just 23, he still has plenty of time to develop. In fact, the suggestion that he could eventually become the #1 winger in the world is one of the biggest compliments he could receive. The debate therefore reflects the evolution of the modern winger. The position is no longer simply about staying on the touchline and waiting for a pass. Modern wingers are expected to carry, defend, kick, pass, chase, cover multiple positions and understand attacking structures. Kolbe is a perfect example of that evolution. Jordan represents another version of it. Both players are capable of contributing in ways that go far beyond traditional wing play. And that is why it is so difficult to choose between them. Statistics can tell us how many tries a player has scored. They can tell us how quickly a player runs. They can measure meters gained and defenders beaten. But statistics cannot fully measure the pressure an attacker puts on a defender. When Kolbe receives the ball against one defender, that defender knows what is coming and yet the defender may still be unable to stop it. That is the essence of elite footwork. It is not simply about moving quickly. It is about moving at exactly the right moment. The attacker forces the defender to react, and once the defender commits, the attacker takes advantage. Kolbe has mastered that skill. Jordan, meanwhile, has mastered the art of anticipation. He understands where the attack is going before the opportunity becomes obvious. That is why he continues to score at such an impressive rate. The upcoming South Africa-New Zealand series will provide another opportunity for both players to demonstrate their strengths. If Jordan breaks through the Springbok defense and turns his speed into a decisive try, the argument for his superiority will grow. If Kolbe beats an All Blacks defender with another spectacular step, the claim that his footwork is unmatched will become even stronger. Perhaps there does not need to be one definitive answer. Rugby is a game where different qualities can produce different forms of greatness. While Jordan does not need to have the best footwork in the world to be an elite winger, Cheslin Kolbe does not need to match Jordan's try-scoring rate to be one of the game's greatest attacking players. Their strengths are different, and that is exactly what makes the comparison so entertaining. Jordan has the speed. Kolbe has the footwork. Jordan has the anticipation. Kolbe has the improvisation. Jordan is one of the world's most dangerous finishers. Kolbe is one of its most devastating one-on-one attackers. And with South Africa and New Zealand preparing to renew their rivalry, rugby fans are about to get another chance to see those qualities tested at the highest level. Every attacking run could matter. Every defensive decision could be decisive. Every kick into space could become an opportunity. And every one-on-one battle could produce a moment that changes the match. For now, the verdict from Anthony Watson is clear. If the contest is about pure speed, he gives the advantage to Will Jordan. But when it comes to footwork, one-on-one ability, and the capacity to make defenders miss in extremely limited space, he believes Cheslin Kolbe stands above the rest. That is an extraordinary compliment from a former international winger who has faced some of the best players in the world. And it ensures that when Kolbe and Jordan take the field during this great rivalry, supporters will be watching for two very different things. With Will Jordan, they will be watching for the moment he finds space. With Cheslin Kolbe, they will be watching his feet. One step could change everything. One acceleration could decide a try. One missed tackle could change the momentum. That is the beauty of elite rugby, and it is exactly why the debate over Will Jordan and Cheslin Kolbe is likely to continue long after the final whistle.